been 1 week since great holiday. So hopefully we all are in a very good condition after very long break. And in today's session, we have Miss Lavinia as our inspirational speaker and me, Wahyu, as your host. And later on, this session will be moderated by Dea. So let us start this session with watching our all hands intro video. Let's get started. So our today's session on inspirational speaker, we have Miss Lavinia Yusuf, founder of Live It Hope Bali and Remote Skills Academy. So good morning, Miss Lavinia. How are you today?
I am very good, thank you. How are you, IQ?
I'm doing great. Thank our inspirational speaker season, we would like to introduce yourself as we have been compiling your background from your LinkedIn and also personal website. So if we missed something from this information, we're very sorry and hopefully we'll add it later on. So Miss Lavinia has her master degree in business administration from Alexandria University and her bachelor degree in Universitas Alexandru Ion Chuza din IASI. During his life, she has been working tirelessly in so many fields, including women empowerment and also entrepreneurship and also so many fields that we could imagine. He has been working at Live It as CEO of Live It International and founder of Live It Hope Bali from February 2015 and now. Her also working as founder of Remote Skills Academy by Live It from February 2022 up to now. She also has been member of Uncommon from December 2021, member of Plumia June 2022, and she also the founding member of Remote First Institute from July 2022. And as I read from her website, she also has been working and included in so many organizations, including ISX during her university. So we must get a lot of knowledge from her experience up to now. So hopefully we can get a lot of from her experience. So thank you, Miss Lavinia, for spending your time in today's weekly inspirational session. And if we want, we would like to continue to our first question. As we can see that you have a lot of experience in so much fields, so much organization, including your entrepreneurship organization. How do you measure the impact of your initiatives, particularly in terms of advancing remote work and supporting global telemobility? And would you like to share how these metrics have influenced your strategy adjustment, especially in response to global disruption like the pandemic that happened in 2022 previously? So for Miss Lavinia, the time is yours.
Thank you so much. Yeah, very good question. I think measurements data is very metrics all very important, because otherwise, as passionate entrepreneurs, and not only we can start sort of having the wrong strategy or going after the wrong products or services or projects, because we sort of feel that way, or we like a certain thing or don't like another thing, and that's obviously very important as well, to like what we do. But data supporting our strategy is one of the most important things we can do. So I can actually, I'm not sure if I'm able to share my screen, but I can actually share with you a few numbers that we look at. Should I try to do that?
Please do.
Yeah, let me see if that's possible. So, for example, these are some numbers that we looked at in 2023, right? So, so we actually, let me see if I can make it larger. So we look at startups and organizations and SMEs that we work with, right? And where are they based? For example, last year we worked with almost 50 of them across 4 different continents. We look at how many people are using our space in Bali, right? The average per month. We also, as you've seen and as you've mentioned before, I am a founder of Remote Skills Academy, which is a social impact education program for Indonesians who want to learn to work digitally, to work remotely, or access the global work market. Labor market, to say so. So we looked at that is now a separate organization, but it started as a project in Livid. So we look at the number of students, different, where our clients are coming from, as I was saying, in educational institutions we work with. And then also we put here this very cheeky thing that we survived tech winter, right? Which is for all of us in tech, you may know that there's this big phenomenon happening right now. It's definitely winter in terms of investment and how hard it is to fund your project and for teams to get investment and so on. On the side of the Remote Skills Academy, for example, we look at education programs delivered. We look at how many students we had in live programs, in self-led, recorded across how many places in Indonesia, and so on and so forth, right? So these are some of the metrics that we look at. And in terms of how that influences our strategy, especially I think you mentioned there the pandemic. Absolutely. During the pandemic, obviously certain parts of our business were suffering more than others. So, for example, anything that had to do with bringing people to Bali, right? 4 different events, 4 hackathons, workathons, startup acceleration events, and so on, was absolutely impossible, right? Because you couldn't travel, you couldn't cross the borders, or it was very difficult, right? When it came to even co-working and having events, or even having people who live in Bali come to our hub, it was obviously ups and downs. There were many rounds of lockdowns and restrictions, and we were open one week and closed the next, and then very confused about opening or closing the third week, and so on, right? So obviously, when you look at that, for me, what data tells me, what metrics tell me, are like pointers, right? So they say, okay, right now it doesn't matter how much you're pushing on programs that involve people traveling or meeting or being in a space together. It is almost impossible to plan, right? So you're not going to, you can do however many promotions you want, you can slash the price, you can do all of these things. It's not really going to matter much, right? Like maybe a little bit, but no, it's not going to make a big difference. So what we've done is, because we have a wide array of different types of services, what we've done is we said, let's focus on all the other things that have nothing to do with people traveling, meeting in person, and so on. So what we did is we focused a lot on a lot of companies during the pandemic in our space, in the tech and digital space, were growing a lot because everything moved online, right? entertainment, education, meeting people, everything moved online. There was a component of it before, but now everything, our entire lives were online, right? So we focused on helping those companies grow, right? So we helped a lot of companies recruit people, which in the tech world can mean very, very specific skills, right? That you have to look at, for in different countries and on different markets. Obviously, in tech, everything is very remote capable, right? So people can work from anywhere in the world, not only from home. And then we focused on training, on helping people acquire digital skills, on helping companies learn how to manage their teams remotely, how to onboard teams remotely, keep them engaged, and so on. So obviously, the paying attention to what's going on, and instead of sticking to the strategy you had, at like no matter what, right, at any cost, doesn't always work. And it is much, much better to have an agile mindset where you're actually responding and dancing with the flow that happens around you, to say so. We're Bali based, so we sometimes go into Bali speak, right? Which tends to be a little bit more, maybe a bit more hippie than other places, but yeah, I think it's a very good idea to agility in today's world is one of the things that we can actually equip ourselves as people, as teams, and as organizations. One of the most important things, right? So I also happen to be a sort of an expert and a speaker on topics around the future of work. And a lot of times I get asked, like, what is the one thing that you sort of tell people they should do to future-proof themselves? And for me is cultivate an ability to thrive in ambiguous and ever-changing environments, because the pace of change is only getting faster and faster. Everyone's waiting for things to go back to normal. I've got bad news. They're not going back to normal. The pace of change is actually accelerating, and it's the world of yesterday, where we used to put in place systems and SOPs and just stick to that for 20 years, and the business would just work, is no longer there in most industries. There are some traditional industries that still kind of work like that, perhaps like, I don't know, oil and gas, which is getting disrupted in massive ways, but they can still like stick to what they were doing 20 years ago and hope to ride it out, or banking or other things, right? But in the kind of fields that we are in, that's just not gonna work. Trying to stick to your original plan and your strategy, and just kind of, try to be in your little bubble and do your own thing, and not react or be agile enough to adapt to the market conditions, economic conditions, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Lavinia. So we have to be agile during this very uncertainty world, especially when something we don't want to happen, like pandemic before happened. So based on your explanation, I heard that you help a lot of company to recruit people, and especially when it comes to pandemic, there must be some limitation in terms of how you could screening some people to and help you to get the best resources that you could provide to the company. So related to your point that agility is important, how could you measure like agility of someone when you're trying to interview them or seek for someone who could be fit into a certain company? Do you have like a experience or a story where you find someone that very agile and could be fit in when whatever the company needs? So do you have any story that are related to the agile things that you found while you're seeking for like human resource?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question, because it's not a skill that is immediately obvious, and it's not a skill that a lot of people focus on. So I would say, generally, we should always assume that people will say in interviews whatever they need to say or they think they need to say to get the job, right? So to me, a lot of what people say in interviews is a bit of white noise, right? Like I have to look through that. I have to see the patterns. I have to talk to people who worked with them. I have to put them, surprise them and get them a bit of their comfort zone and ask them to do perhaps something more practical or a case study or something like that where they can't prepare these things in advance, right? So my suggestion to those of you who are recruiting is try to don't stick to the usual, questions like, what are you planning to do in 5 years? And what are your weaknesses? And, all of those things that people absolutely expect to be asked during an interview, because they will have an answer learned by heart and they will deliver it. And you will have no idea what part of it is true and genuine. So so basically I think what I'd say, two things. So this is something you can probe for a lot in the referral part of the process, right? So you can ask very specific open questions to people that are giving this person an endorsement, right? And you can also work on a little case study. So something that I do is that I sometimes ask these questions where I don't want the answer right away. I allow the person to take notes, think about it for a few minutes, and I say, can you give me an example where for example, regarding agility, right? And then the ability to adapt. Can you give me an example where you were tasked with a project or a strategy and everything changed about, what like what you had to do, what was possible, and so on? Walk me through how you actually dealt with that situation, right? Or have you lived in a different place than the place you grew up in? How did that go for you? Can you tell me what was surprising, what was hard to adapt to, right? If it was a different culture or different food or different things and so on. So you get the person a little bit outside of those typical interview questions, and test that a bit.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lavinia. So from your explanation, I recap, there's don't stick to the general question that currently commonly asked, ask open-ended question, give endorsement, and work on case study. So that's might be an insight for our inspirational HR. And we might move to the next question. So second question is, as we know that you have been involved in so many global platforms and initiatives, how do you utilize local insight from Bali hospitality scene to enhance your projects on remote work and female talent advancement?
Yeah, well, once again, great question. So yeah, it's interesting because my brain kind of lives in two different places at the same time. One part is very Bali based, and the other part is very global because we work with people from so many different countries, and we have a couple of companies in other countries as well. So it's an interesting position to be in for sure. And I think one thing that I've noticed, and actually the Remote Skills Academy was born because of that, in Bali, just before the pandemic. It obviously continues and so on, is that the world is now moving into so back in the day, let's say in medieval times, for example, in Europe, there used to be the full citizens that lived inside of the fortress, inside of the city, had full rights, had a protected life from invasions and so on and so forth. And the people outside of the city walls, right? Like usually, let's say the second-class citizens. Well, this is now being recreated in our world today through being able to engage digitally for work, being able to work remotely, partially or fully, being able to use smartly tools like AI and digital tools and so on. So the new city walls are you actually able to do that and adapt to what's happening in the world of work, connect with people from other countries, potentially work with anyone from everywhere in the world and so on? Or are you maybe stuck depending on, let's say, the jobs that are 2 kilometers around your house, right? As a barista or a waiter or a cleaner and so on and so forth, right? Nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with those jobs. Massive respect for the people who do that. But the world, the way it is shaping right now is first-class citizens engage, our global citizens engage, in English or other international languages, work online or use digital tools for work, right? Are starting to use AI, starting to get good at it, and then the rest, right? So I've noticed that, especially during the pandemic, it was so stark, right? To see the life that people who made money outside of the country had, and the people who were depending on local jobs. And actually, the Remote Skills Academy was born out of that, because I wanted to create a solution for people who are saying, I actually want to learn to work to learn to work online or remotely or digitally, however we want to put it. Right? I may be a waiter or a barista or something like that. I have a bit of computer skills. I have a bit of English. Where can I go from here? Obviously, I'm not going to become a senior Python developer in 3 months, but I can learn to be a virtual assistant. I can learn to be a social media manager. I can learn to be a bit of a project manager, and then go from there, right? And then my guess was that this problem exists in other places as well, especially in places that depend on tourists, or where there's, the world is generally divided in places with opportunity and places without opportunity, right? And people like to migrate to these big cities like London, New York, and so on, right? To access Jakarta, right? To access opportunity. And for me, that gap doesn't make sense anymore. So people can work, and if you're brilliant, you can be in a small town in Bangladesh. I don't mind. I'll hire you, and I'll pay you good money, right? So I think that's something that I observed, or my life in Bali, let's say, informed those thoughts and decisions to try and bridge that gap a bit.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lavinia. So we really enjoy this conversation, and indeed, we believe that your initiatives on remote working does help us to uh, allowing us to learn how to work remotely, and might be achieving our dreams on working on distance area, but still accessible through the internet. So thank you, Ms. Lavinia, for your session today. It's very delightful and inspiring for us to be able to talk with you. However, the time constraint limits our conversation, so we might end this conversation here. And thank you so much, Ms. Lavinia, for your inspirational session.
Thank you so much for having me, and lovely to see some of you again. I've met some of you at the dinner at your office, and lovely to see many other new faces, and I look forward to staying connected. You guys seem like an awesome team. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Lavinia, for coming in today, sharing your wisdom and inspiration with us.
No worries.
Okay, Wayu, I guess I'll continue on the next segment then. Miss Lavinia, you're free to stay if you have the time, or you're free to attend to other obligations if you have that too as well. So we'll proceed with the next segment in our all hands here. So welcome everybody back to Bukit Vista after the holidays. Hopefully, few of us got a chance to actually experience what it was like to be a guest during this time. Also, Lavinia just left. Okay, it was too bad. I was about to say something nice about her. I think Lavinia is quite unusual in a really, really good way in Bali. She's one of the probably most visionary employment HR people that I've actually seen, who really has a very modern and also a very advanced way of seeing how the world works, far, far different from the way that most HR is being done in Bali. And I think her words are gems. And so I hope everybody here appreciates the privilege of actually being in an organization where your skills can be transferred globally, and you are part of that inner city state with the protections of full citizens and such. So that's it's good to see somebody reflect that particular way of thinking as well. All right, let's begin. So I'm actually just incredible. I'm amazed at what I can do on Midjourney these days. I was at the airport in Jogja, and I took a picture of I just took a picture of a I don't know, like a banner I saw in the airport, and then I put it through Midjourney, and it recreated new images for me. So this is an image that I created, and it looks pretty accurate now. It's gotten better at creating Bolognese art, I think. Okay, so anyways, pretty stunning. All right, I'm going to talk about the good news and the bad news, as I normally do. So let's get into it. So the good news is we have stabilized our performance record. We're at 82.4. Last week, we're around 85, which was a peak. This week, it's slightly below, but it's still within the superhost category. So that part is good. The bad news is that we've actually dropped quite significantly in our occupancy. Our average occupancy during December up to about March was 90%. 90%. So over the course of a year, we are at 80%. But this month, we're at 73%. Now, of course, the month isn't finished yet, and most likely will probably turn out even higher at the end. But this could be and I did see actually on our daily sales is decreasing for 4 days, and also our unsold inventory is also increasing. So just a warning for those of you working in revenue management and also thinking about how to improve the occupancy. Good reviews. In fact, very good reviews. In fact, I was taking a look this morning at all the emails coming in from reviews, and it was actually kind of hard to find a bad review. I scrolled through about 2 pages, and they were very, very rare. So overall, Four Monkeys, Kamisama, Ponoknini, excellent work. This is the observed work in terms of the reviews, good communication, good hosting, good inspection, good property management, partnership relationship management. So this is where we want to be. This is a few of the bad reviews, but it's not just reviews, but it's just operational deficiencies. We keep on getting requests withdrawn, and this is an annoying issue because it does actually have impact on a few things. It has relationship issues because partners often ask the guest if they want to extend through Bukit Vista. And when they cancel a request because their request hasn't been taken, that impacts the partner trust in us because, of course, then they lose that extension. But it also makes the guest kind of disappointed too as well. So for some reason, we don't have the ability to automatically accept requests, even though there should be. And the other particular issues here were location and smelliness. This was in one of our properties in Tabanan, but also this was at Villa Meiji, Carlos's place. There was a lack of urgency complained by Sasha at one of our properties up in the Bukit. Okay, so since we're back from break and I've been taking a look at our past semester performance, let's talk about the good stuff first, right? Let's talk about what did we do right last semester? What did we achieve on? So overall, our hospitality has never seen a better performance ever. So this, I think, is something everyone here should be very, very proud of. It required everybody to work together on setting expectations of the guests, making sure that the actual properties were prepared, dialoguing, communication, engineering, making sure that the automation worked, property managers, inspecting. So this is excellent. We went, and our target was 4.65 at 76%. We actually reached 4.72 and 80.4. So congratulations, everybody. I think that's well-deserved and excellent in terms of exceeding our targets for hospitality performance. So that part is good. Let's ask ourselves whenever we're successful, why? These are the reasons I could understand why. If you guys have more reasons, then please be sure to let the teams that work on strategy know so that they can be included in the strategic milestones. But this is what I see. Why this is an achievement is compared to last year, we got more bookings at the same time. So there's more load. There's fewer people working on operations, and there's less stressful that I can see. There's far fewer overbookings. There's far fewer arguments with partners. So it seems like this is happening also with more elegance, more agility, more of this panache. So this is good. This is excellent. This means that we're becoming more masterful at attaining these hospitality high scores. I think the key factors that led to this is, number one, we have VPs that make strong decisions. So this is good. Being decisive and actually committing to our goals every month is one of the reasons why the team feels well led and confident, and that the decisions they make on a day-to-day level are correct. The second thing is there is definitely capable and disciplined execution and supervision. We also see very clever diplomatic and firm partner relationship management, and also, of course, empowerment through automation, which greatly reduces the day-to-day load and allows us to focus a little bit more on things like managing partners and also delighting our guests. This is great. Now, it isn't all good news, because this is the bad part. Where do we actually do very, very incorrectly? Well, this is the cost, I guess, on the opposite side. So we targeted 3.3 million. We achieved only 2.1 million. So we were off by 1.1 million. This is actually a 60% achievement, and this would be considered a D- if this were a report card. So it's quite a large gap. So where did this gap actually come from, and what does it mean? A lot of it, I think, was strategic and also visionary, which is something I'll talk about a little bit later too as well. But this is what I saw strategically, that we had almost about 500,000 of unsold inventory. There was about $400,000 worth of unsold dates from the previous 6 months. Now, of course, we don't expect to get 100% occupancy, but certainly this could probably be improved by, say, 30 to 50%. So we could reclaim maybe up to $200,000 back from improving the way that we actually sell our inventory. The next thing is actually this. We lost accounts. So certain large accounts were closed. And of course, we did that in order to preserve and actually protect our hospitality scores, but this also came at a cost. So we lost almost about 150, probably up to 200,000 worth of AUM, assets under management, over the semester from closed large accounts. These are the major guest houses that everybody probably should know about: Port Kalapa, Pondok Lulik, and the Gong. All right, next. The greatest shortfall actually came from our missed expectations in acquiring new AUM. So the marketing, business development, bringing in new properties didn't happen nearly as quickly or as effectively as we had actually originally planned 6 months ago. Now, let's take a look and kind of analyze why we didn't achieve this particular goal. Number one, there was a lack of performance in the integration between AI-made and also human-made operations for revenue management. That integration did not happen successfully. Number two is there was an absence in BI in terms of revenue research responsibility. Our previous BI director was demoted a few times. It doesn't work here anymore. And so therefore, there was no real new person to actually step in and do research and figure out what is the revenue shortfall. We also overestimated our speed of growth and our ability to actually create a product and a service that had a strong market fit. And there was less than optimal execution, I think, for some of the market discovery and also lead development happening in the business development cycle, which I will claim responsibility for on that particular myself. Now, the key questions, if we want to improve and we want to be agile, as I said just earlier, is these are the key things that we need to think about, and hopefully we'll have a plan and a strategy for how to address this in the next all hands. Number one, how do we actually improve the rate of growth and get new AUM faster? This is the primary reason why we were unable to achieve our previous semester targets. And if we're going to have ambitious targets, ambitious bonuses, large amounts of promotions and such, we really need to think strategically and visionary about this particular problem. Number two is, what is it that we need to do to improve our efficiency with the existing assets under management? The red bars that you see up there are all the unsold inventory across the entire 6-month semester from last October until now. How can we push that unsold inventory down every day? And the other way is, how do we get these blue and orange bars up? These are the bars showing what our daily sales are from day-to-day basis. So we need to push the unsold inventory down and push the daily sale rate up. Next, this is something we should not forget. We've been very successful in hospitality, and it now looks like we can superhost sustainably at scale. So this is great. This is actually one of the engines that will drive a continued long-term brand success. So how can we actually continue investing correct resources into hospitality so that we can attain higher results, or we can add new AUM at scale and continue to get the superhost level of quality and hospitality. All right. Overall, there's some good news, and I'm happy to say that this semester is successful. And why? Well, it's because we're actually a better company. Sometimes when you become a better company, a better person, you don't face a lack of problems. What you do actually experience is that your problems start upgrading. Instead of dealing with lower level leadership problems, you're dealing with higher level leadership problems. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So these are snapshots of problems that we talked about last year. For those of you who've been around in 2023, you probably remember me sitting here at the all hands talking about a lack of policy enforcement, shift arrangement problems, shyness, and a lack of supervision. Happily, I would say that in the past semester, this year, there is none of those particular problems. So we are upgrading. The kind of problems that we have right now are we wanted to make $3.3 million. We only made $2 million, which is in a funny way, actually a very higher quality problem. All right. Now, that's pretty much it. Remember the mission. I won't go over that. Everyone should know that already. But remember that inspiration happens when your curiosity is greater than your fear. So I know I have a minute, but let me finish here. Okay. So the idea is that, yes, we were successful on a lot of the hospitality goals, but we were not successful on a revenue goal. And a lot of what we actually can pay and actually bonus out does depend on the company making certain revenue targets too as well in terms of career, bonus, all these things. So instead of being afraid, instead of being angry, be curious. Be curious about what it is that you could have done yourself to actually get us closer to the revenue goal. And perhaps you have a solution that none of us has actually thought of. Now, semester 5 is already coming up, but we're not going to rush the goal right now. We're still going to go and investigate what are some of the key reasons we succeeded and what are some of the key reasons we failed. I summarized the ones that I could see. But this will be determined, and I hope to actually come back by next week with an announcement of what the 5th semester goals will be and what the corresponding bonuses will be for that particular semester as well. All right, let me turn it back over to
me, sir.
All right, yes, you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Jing, for your insightful session. And as Mr. Jing says, I think we can provide you all about our hospitality and revenue target, which is Kak Kayla also bring us expectation. It will be delivered on you on 21st of April. So we'll going to our next session in weekly mission inspiration. I see there is no input from our guest side, yeah, but we have an input with other side, such as on partner side. Wahyu, please, can you share your screen? Okay, so there is one input from Kak Tendi. Kak Tendi, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, in April, we found the owner of the Villa Angin collaborate with the Bukit Vista team to enhance the property based on the property manager recommendation, and then yeah, the process began an initial inspection by the Bukit Vista team, who been provide feedback and propose specific improvement, trusting property manager expertise, and Ibu Ivon agreed to their plan. And then from April to 12, the team execute, and then this example has been done. So you guys can see the picture. Maybe for the for the host can check the picture. Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's it. So back to the host. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Wahyu. That's such a nice improvement, yeah. We also have our weekly mission input by Kak Shelin. Kak Shelin, please deliver your insight.
Okay, thank you. So this is actually the shift management and handover for Lebaran. So especially during the last 8 days, right? So we are activating the Lebaran shift arrangement like with a month in advance preparation as well as the handovers. So this is to thank the HR team as well as the upper managers for organizing and make sure the operations going well during the holiday. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Shelin, for your insight. Now we have Putu Vidya from the Technological Innovation. Putu Vidya, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dea. So yeah, it's about Mars, our new project in formulated revenue management. So yeah, currently Atlas is using machine learning model to give a pricing, but it's still difficult to us to understand the model behavior, even though we already use Lime to explain it. So yeah, the solution here is yeah, it's already have we have to approach. One of them is to use a rule-based approach model. So by using this approach, we can take our knowledge management in pricing and turn it into a function or rule that can be executed and automated to give pricing. But the current limitation is, yeah, the rule is new and not optimized. It will take several iterations and trial and error to refine the rule and give the best performance. Okay, that's from me. Thank you, Dea. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Putu Vidya. Now we're going to the next session of our company team target and achievement, created by Kak Kaila and will be delivered by Kak Shelin. Kak Shelin, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So this is a delegation from Kaila ya, for the CTTA. So maybe Wahyu can scroll down a bit onto the April target. Yes, thank you. So good morning, everyone. So let's review our performance targets for April. So basically, I'll get you to the key metrics on our dashboards. So firstly, looking at our revenue target, we set an okay target at $400,000 for the month. So the awesome target, which we aim for as a stretch goal, is set at $440,000. As of now, we've achieved $322,000, 808, which put us at like around 80.7% for our of our OK target. So this suggests that we need to ramp up our efforts to meet and potentially exceed our established goal. So moving on to the customer satisfaction, our 5-star percentage has an OK target of 81%. We aspire to reach an awesome target of 86%. So currently we stand at 82.4, which is above our OK target, but still shy of the awesome target. Yeah. So this indicates a strong performance, though there's still room for improvement to achieve the exceptional service levels. And finally, our overall rating stands at 4.72, which aligns exactly with our OK target, and it's just slightly below our awesome target of 4.8. So maintaining this high standard is crucial and reflects well on our commitment to quality. So, okay, so that's a little bit on the April target. So what are our opportunities? So maybe while you can scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, in achieving the revenue target, so far we have reached 57% occupancy rate, with 9% of dates expired, 3% accounted for by maintenance, and 4% by owner usage for April. So we still have 28% of our nights available, which is crucial because we need to make an additional $77,000, 192 to meet our OK revenue target. So if we turn our attentions to the visuals, starting from the monthly revenue earned, you'll notice that our actual revenue for April has shown a decrease compared to the previous month. So yeah, you'll notice that compared to the previous month, there's a decrease. The bar graph highlights the shortfall against both our OK and awesome targets. So this showed especially room for improvements as well as opportunities. So next, let's go over some action points. So the first point is that the revenue manager should evaluate if the pace of change in our metrics is within expected limits or if we need to adjust our strategies. And the second point is that we've noticed a rise in blocking due to maintenance and owner usage. The GM needs to assess this and ensure that our listing integrity is upheld, which ties directly into our revenue reliability. And for the last bit, in achieving or maintaining the hospitality targets, numerous listings were suspended last week. So it's vital that the GM investigates and address the root cause for these suspensions. And to maintain our high hospitality standard, the GS should improve check-in instructions through inspections, particularly in Wayana and Ketut team area. So for the content team, is tasked with refining location descriptions for better accuracy. And finally, we must work closely with the engineering team with Cynthia playing a key role to ensure Gaia's communications are dependable through the hosting side. So each point here is integral for our strategy. And by addressing this, we not only work towards meeting our targets, but also set a standard for operational excellence. Let's discuss on how we can turn these opportunities into results. So to sum up, we are on track with our customer satisfaction metrics, but we need to concentrate on boosting our revenue to meet our financial objectives in April. So let's brainstorm strategies and action that can close the gap and drive us towards our awesome targets. So any ideas and initiatives that could push us further will be valuable. Thank you and semangat, guys. Okay, that'll be all from me. And thank you for Kayla for the preparation and back to Dea.
Okay, thank you, Kak Shelin. Such a good explanation to us, yeah. Next, moving forward, we are having a core value recognition from our member. The first one, I will pass the screen to Matthew. Please, Matthew, explain who is the person you recognize and why.
Okay, thank you, Dia. So actually, I'm still writing. Yeah, sorry, but I will say it here, then I will write it later. Basically, during Lebaran yesterday, I spent more time on operation, yeah, which is not my expertise field. And yeah, I will big thanks to Kak Marcel, Kak Pandu, Kak Cynthia, and you too, Dia, since always willing to help me, even though I'm asked so many questions. I hope it's not aku harap tidak mengganggu. Dan thank you for sometimes initiatively, not sometimes sih, openly initiatively give me a hand whenever I do hosting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Matthew as well, yeah, for your hard work in hosting. Now we have Kak Marshall, recognizing Kak Raditya. Please explain, Kak Marshall.
Okay, so we've been dreaming to have like a travel guidebook for some guests, and so we were in Braut or I forget one of the cafe in Bali. So there are a lot of magazines there, right? So we think like we should have one and just put it here. Like it doesn't need like a partnership or something. Like just put it there and maybe someone will read it, right? So we try to create it, but we actually we don't have that some kind of capacity to do this. So maybe we don't have the kind of thinking. And then like Radit like 2 weeks ago said that that's actually a great idea. Let's do this. So I say to him that if you would like to do this, yeah, it's very okay, but don't let these things to hold of your property management things, you know. And yeah, in the end, the one who actually did it is his girlfriend. So he actually hand over it to his girlfriend because it is on Lebaran, right?
Wow.
So a lot of day offs. So they discussed with me, and we actually tried to make it, but it is currently an editing site. Maybe we can push it later and print it. Yep, that's it. Thank you, Radit.
Okay. Thank you, Kak Marshall. And now we have Kak Marshall again, yeah? No. We have Kak Shelin, recognized by Kak Furkan. Please explain, Kak Furkan.
Okay, cool recovery ya dia ya after sleep tang there. So I would like to thank Kasharin for covering the human resource side, employees team side during the Lebaran week. I believe there are many dependencies left that is due during Lebaran, like semester bonus payout and then shift arrangement and then how to make sure that we do not fall off our operation side during Lebaran and Kashalin and also the on the rest of the upper managers, as she said earlier on weekly mission inspiration, did well to cover that, and I would like to recognize it because there's a lot of work to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Furkan. And next, we going to my recognition card. Yeah, I want to recognize Kak Marshall, Kak Cynthia, and Kak Pandu as well because last week I'm full on being case manager, and the the three of them is helping me. And moreover, Commercial is jump out being the hero to recover me if, when we have a difficult situation with the guests. So thank you, Commercial, Kak Cynthia, and Kak Pandu. Yep, that's all.
Back, yeah. Oh, mine. One more.
Okay. Oh yeah, one more from um, Mr. Jing. Yeah, recognize it, Kak
Sure.
Pandu. Yep.
I'm going to recognize Pandu, even though I don't see him here. So I guess Pandu can see this later on in the video. But Pandu was my supervisor for 2 days when I was working over Lebaran on BBW. And I really want to emphasize this. A lot of people, when they are working together with me, feel intimidated or shy because, I call myself a CEO. I think I'm the only person who calls myself that. Okay, anyway, it's humor. Okay, anyways, it didn't ring. All right. But the funny thing was actually Pandu was he really took it upon him to step on my toes and tell me how to do things correctly. And I really appreciate that and I respected him more. Mainly because it showed me that he really knows what he's talking about and he's not afraid to correct me. So I really think that's awesome. So thank you, Pandu.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jing, for your recognized card. And now we're going to show our personal update. Yeah. Now, I'm going to first at Kak Furkon. Please share what's your favorite cake of celebration.
Okay, thank you very much, Dea and Wahyu. You can pin your screen to question of the week tables because that will be the only one that we read. Okay, so for question of the for me, I mean nastar cake. It's my favorite snack of Lebaran. I finished like three what is it? Three toples, 3 jars of nastar. So yeah, I'm getting weight today. Thank you. Back to you, Dea.
Okay, next we have Kak Shelin ya. Kak Shelin,
Okay. Similarly to Purkon, I prefer the classic nastar over the new ones. So ya, tapi nggak sampai 3 toples. Thank you.
yeah, Kak Furkon is brutally eat the nastar cake. And now we have me. I really like oasis. I even bought 5 kilograms of them and share it to my family because everyone should taste the oasis. Yeah. Okay, next we have Mr. Jing, gumbo. What is gumbo, Mr.?
Gumbo is Mardi Gras food. So I guess you just have to look it up on the internet and then you'll see what it is. It's pretty amazing. I think I made it one time for people at the base and they'll probably all remember my gumbo. But yeah, gumbo is a happy food.
Okay, you should make it one more time, yeah, and share it to our intern.
I will. If you'll be there in June, I'll make gumbo when I get back. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Now we have Kak Ardi. Since he is not attending, I will read it. Kak Ardi love to eat satay, rendang, opor, meat curry, and rebeng and meat soup. Wow, there is so many of them, yeah. And also next we have a Kak Vanes.
For me, I haven't tried any new food recently, but I do love nastar. Back to you.
Okay, so maybe gumbo is a new food that Vanes should taste, yeah. And now we have Kak Vito here.
Okay, for me, it's sampah daging. Daging, I believe maybe there's only a few of you have tried this food because this traditional Minangese food, but it's really good. It's have spiciness and sourness in it.
Wow, that's very unique, and I think Vanes should taste this because I think Vanes will like it. Okay, next we have Kak Abam here.
From me, the best combo is still opor ayam, sambal goreng, and ketupat. Every year, my family had that menu for Lebaran. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, it's just like a family culture, right? Okay, so good. Okay, we have a Kak Fidi here also.
Yeah, for me, it's opor with rendang. What's interesting is that every house I visit or people who give me opor with rendang, they have a similar opor taste but different rendang taste for each house.
I think we should research on that. Why the opera tastes the same and the rendang is not. Yeah. Okay. Next we have Widya here. Putu Widya.
Yeah, thank you there for me. Yeah, the one and only Nastar. Thank you, Betty.
Okay. So Kak Shelin, Kak Furkan, and also Widya is really into Nastar, right? But I think Kak Bayu have a different favorite fruit here. Please, Kak Bayu.
Yeah, this is not food, but as melon serut. This is surprisingly refreshing. I don't know why I just discovered it today. I think a lot of people already tasted it, but it's very refreshing.
Ah, uh, is there any marjan syrup on there? Or just like
Yes, yes. Marjan pandan with melon serut.
wow. Yeah. I can count the sugar on it. Yeah, it's really really good. Okay, okay. So next we have from marketing team. With Hafid, share it.
For me is steamed bapia or bapia kukus, but it doesn't deserve called bapia, yeah, actually. But yeah, it's turned out pretty good, actually.
So Jogja ya, Jogja pride, Kak Hafid. Okay, next we have Kadela here.
Yeah, for me it's opor ayam with not too thick soup. Okay, so if I find like opor ayam with too thick soup, like I tend to comment on the food.
Okay, okay, that's so picky, but still it's good. Opera with not tiki soup, it's good. Okay, our next we have Kak Rehan here. Kak Rehan wrote a paragraph about it,
No,
so please explain, Kak Rehan.
yeah, no, actually, I haven't tried any food recently, but I remember that in pandemic 2020, when we celebrate Ramadan and Lebaran at home, so my mom cooked meatball, bakso, salad, and casual down calor and etc. It's make me so it's unique and fun because I tried I don't eat opor and ketupat, but I eat the casual makanan sehari-hari.
Okay, okay. But down calor is one of our main dish here. But it's special to you because you enjoy it on Lebaran, yeah. And next we have Kak Gunung Gania here. He didn't write any text, but share picture instead. Please share, Kak
Yeah,
Gania.
from me is Serapi Notosuman. It is traditional and legendary snack from Solo. Yeah, it's bikin dari santan and yeah for oleh-oleh and souvenir. It's really good.
Mm. Yeah, great, great, great. Maybe you can bring it to Bali so we can taste it. Okay, next we have Kak Erika here. Yeah, it's just
Okay, so for me, it's lodeh jantung pisang because I cannot find it. I think even in Surabaya or in Bali and anywhere else, and only got to taste it in in my hometown. And then the longer it is, the better the taste is. So because in Trenggalek, in my grandmother's. They're very cold, so any food can last longer. So it can even last like for a week. So the longer it is, the better the taste is. Okay, back to you, Dea.
that's very unique. I just know there is a food like this on Indonesia. Wow. Okay, okay. I think we should taste it first. Okay, next to Konang. Please, Konang.
Yep. So one of my uncles from Bandung, he always bought the authentic Bandung siomay, and I always like it. Okay, thank you. Back to you, dear.
Okay, thanks, Konang. Now next to Agus Weda.
Yeah, so I haven't tried new one, but I really like opor plus ketupat, especially the ceker. And also in my place here in Bali, opor is called roasted chicken. I think that's all. Back to you there.
Okay, thank you for nice insight, Agus Weda. I think since we passed the time, I will extend the time for 5 minutes to finish everyone so they can for their ideas here. Okay, next to Matthew, please explain, Matthew.
Okay, thank you. So actually I haven't tried actually any new food yeah recently, but I love rendang and if you buy one for me yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, Matthew. Thank you. As we can still hear you. Next we have Kak Wahyu here. Wahyu. Okay, since Wahyu is share their screen, maybe he can on mic, yeah. Kak Wahyu is really like chocolate because his own serves chocolate candy, not the Roka one, at her place, and it tastes sweet. Probably eat a lot of sweet sugary snack during the whole week. It's just like candy, nastar, choco bali, kastengel, caramelized nut, aka kacang sembunyi, but I do enjoy it, and he really enjoy it pretty much. Okay, nice, Kak Wahyu. And then we have Kak Tendi. Please share, Kak Tendi.
For me, is castengel cake. Usually, my Red Bull bro celebrate give me some castengel and a star. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Tendi. Now next we have Kak Gray.
Yep. I observe during Lebaran, there's only two type of category: the one that eat all the sweet snacks, or the one that go immediately for the heavy stuff. I go for the heavy stuff, so opor and rendang all the way.
Okay, thank you, Kak Gray. That's so unique, yeah. We have a two type of person during Lebaran. And now next we got Pak Ketut Somang, ya. Kak Ketut, the
Yeah,
floor is yours.
usually di desa when we have events, they make like jajan ketan kukus ya. They fill with coconut and palm sugar, and they make bubur dari beras and fill with palm and sugar. There's a sweet taste, but there is a like a special taste they make because they make with not with the blender, but they make a traditional like the beras dia tepung, tahu tepung ya seperti itu, tapi bukan di blender, jadi taste-nya agak-agak kasar-kasar gitu.
And
Thank you.
it
Yeah.
makes it more good, yeah. When we do blender of it, maybe the taste is like a decrease or something. Yeah. Okay. Next we have Kak Macheng, Kak Marshall. Please share your insight.
I actually don't know, so I answer Michie. But when we Lebaran, I mean they actually eat it too. So we eat pizza. We asked Kyla to send us a food actually about Lebaran food, right? We asked them. we doing a riot like they doing Lebaran and we do the work. So send us some food. But unfortunately, they sent us a pizza instead of opor and etc. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah. Correct. We enjoyed the limo pizza with our ops team on last week. And next we have Kak Amanda. Please share your insight, Kak Amanda.
Okay, so for me, I live in Bali, but I never find any good rawon, like authentic Japanese rawon. So when I go to Java, it hits different to eat rawon there. Back to you, Dea.
Okay, that's unique because I feel the same too. Rawon in Java is really, really nice taste, yeah. Next we have Kak Kaila. Since she was not really well, I will read it in maybe, what is it? Maybe like, I don't know, keluak ya? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, keluak, keluak. Okay. Kak Kaila is here. Please, Kak Kaila, maybe you can share some.
No, actually, having a bit. It's hard to talk, but this is jadah tempe. Correct, Mas Bayu. Thank you.
Oh, it's Jada Tempe. Okay, okay, nice, nice. Next we have Kak David here. Please share, Kak David.
Yep, I haven't tried any new cakes on this Lebaran this year, but my favorite is still nastar. Thank you.
Wow. Okay, Nastar. Next we have Kak Bella here.
Actually, it's a brand actually. Like we love to eat like restaurant Padang, like pagi sore. Thank you, Dea.
Oh, Padang. Yeah, yeah, Padang is really good. I eat them most of them in Jogja, Padang murah. Now, next we have the last one, Kak Shintia. Please share, Kak Shintia.
Kembang goyang, but the best version is when my mom make it. Thank you, De.
Okay, agreed. Every food made by our mom is really really good. But I just know kembang goyang. Is anyone have tasted before? Kembang goyang. It's just like goyang goyang. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, Kak Furkan already tasted. Okay, next. Really nice to have you guys share your favorite food during Lebaran. That's I think that's all for our all hand session for today. Since there is no announcement here uh from our team, yeah. Thank you for attending, guys. It's really nice to have you guys back and doing our operational as usual. Please have a good week. This week, have a great day and semangat. Dadah.
Thank
Alright, great
you.
week ahead. See ya.
Thank you
Yeah,
everyone.
thank you
Mohon maaf
everyone.
lahir batin ya.
Terima kasih. How to live there.